Hello and welcome to yet another YouTube video here on this channel. I recently made a video, or not recently, but at the start of the year, I think I made a video about the 5 most hyped note-taking apps of this year, and it was the 5 note-taking apps: Lazy, Anytype, Napkin Notes. I had Capacities on there, and I had Tana on there as well. So these are 5 really hyped note-taking apps that a lot of people are really excited about. And in today's video, I'm going to try to rank them from 5 to 1. And in one of my upcoming videos, I'm going to talk more in depth about how every one of these apps have developed. So let's start with Lazy. Lazy is trying to be the fastest note-taking app on the market. So fast in the way that it is really fast to manage all of your notes. They have an inbox feature, great way to capture things. Um, so just to show you an example on their website, I can just write test and you can capture this and it will capture things for you. But it is still on a wait list, early access, and it is only available on the Mac. They have a web version, but the web version is really stripped down and just for accessing notes, not necessarily for all of the features that this application offers. But basically, the way this works is that you can use the AI to do the capturing for you, summarize articles, transcribe YouTube videos, and things like that. That is their main selling point. Why this app is placed on the fifth place or last place out of the 5, it is also the earliest one, so it still has a lot of development that needs to be done, and they are still in an early access phase. But the main problem I have with this is the bugs inside of it. So I experienced losing my notes once when I used the AI inside of the application. And there are just a few things like that that doesn't work properly, which may be really annoying, but on the other hand, that is something I would expect from an application that is this early in its development. That's one of the reasons why everyone tells you not to use early access applications or beta applications, because these things can happen. But overall, I would say that the idea of this is really, really cool, and there are actually multiple apps that do the same now. Recall.ai is another one. It might be even a little bit better given the fact that it does the organizational linking for you, but that is something that I need to look deeper into and maybe make a video about. So next on the list is one of my favorites. This is Anytype, and inside of Anytype I actually have a lot of notes. I love Anytype. I've been using it for a while. I tried it as my main project management application, but as I started working with others, I couldn't ask them to learn Anytype in order for us to work together, so I moved to a different tool, but it is still something I use from time to time, mainly to share pages and workspaces. But it is a really cool application. Imagine a blend between Obsidian and Notion, with the privacy aspect of Obsidian and the layout of Notion. This is one of my favorites, and I am placing it fourth. And the main reason for why this is um, second to last is that I think that an application like Anytype that relies on Web3 and is really hard to get into with a huge learning curve never will become like a mainstream tool. I think that people like myself and a lot of the people that are following me on social media, and at least here on YouTube, will end up using an application like this. But for the general, this feels like it has a bit too much of a learning curve. I think that the development on this is really good. Still, some minor bugs I've experienced from time to time. I had one major one a couple of patches ago where the application would not even open. I had to turn off my computer, then turn it back on in order for it to work properly. So I have had some minor and major issues with this application, but it has gotten a lot better. I think that they are doing an amazing job when it comes to development, and having something like this that looks a lot like Notion, works a lot like Notion, and with the ability to collaborate, even though it is so privacy focused. So imagine collaborating inside of Obsidian. That is something they've been working on in Obsidian for a long time, trying to find the perfect way to collaborate in such a privacy heavy focused application. That is something Anytype has done a great job with. You actually have real time collaboration inside of this, even with all of the focus on privacy and local storage. So that is something I really love about Anytype, and I'm giving it 4 because as I said, it won't ever become mainstream, at least not in the near future. It might be in 10, 12, 15 years from now, but in the near future, I can't see this becoming like really mainstream. I would rather say that AI applications will become mainstream before Web3 applications will. Speaking of AI applications, we have one right here. This is Napkin Notes, and Napkin Notes is going more towards becoming a mobile application and a place to capture your thoughts and ideas on your mobile, and then being able to review them on your computer and also on the phone, but mainly on the computer. I think that's where they are headed, to have like a mobile first experience, which I think is really good for a note taking app like this that wants you to take like really small bite-sized notes. So this actually has a hard limit to the characters. You can't have more than, I'm not sure how many characters it actually is, but uh, you have a hard limit on the characters, which is something I like because I think that having bite-sized notes is really, really important. And it uses AI to connect different things together. So if I just press one note here, this doesn't have anything that is connected to it. But if I press this right here, you can see that it connects different notes together. It isn't always perfect, like this doesn't match with this and this. Well, it actually matches a little bit with this, even though this is in Norwegian and these two are in English. You can just continue and go on like this. So all of these are actually around employer branding. So here it is actually doing a really good job, even though it is in Norwegian. So I really like this a lot. You can also use the tags here and just press the tags and see everything that pops up with the tag. What this uses AI for is exactly this, to auto tag things as well as connecting different things together. That's what this application does. And I feel like this will become a mainstream way to take notes for a lot of us, to take these bite-sized small notes and then sitting down and allowing AI to help us find connections we wouldn't otherwise find. I think that that is a great use case for a note-taking app, and it is something that does not exist yet. So if Napkin is able to nail this, I think that this application will become huge in the future, and I love the way they use AI. It is also still in beta, so you would expect some bugs. I haven't actually used this enough to be able to tell you whether or not this has major bugs in it, but I've seen a lot of people use it, especially on the phone, but also on the computer. So I'm guessing that even if it has bugs, it is still usable. But I'm giving this third because I think that it is a really cool application. I like the way they use AI, but I still think the last two are actually a little bit better. And I think the last two will become major players in the note-taking and productivity space. So second place I am giving to Tana, and the only reason for why Tana doesn't get first place is the huge learning curve that comes with this application. They are trying to make it easier to use, and it has gotten a lot easier than when I first tried it out, but it still needs some work until it is really approachable and easy to use. I spent a lot of time actually figuring out how to use the application. It is also priced quite high with a yearly plan that comes in at $14 each month and a monthly plan that comes in at $18 each month, but that gives you a lot of AI. They even have an AI meeting assistant. They have voice memos, which is really cool. So you can speak your notes out. It will do transcription for you. But what this application has done and what makes it so good is that you can easily capture an idea and you can have it like this. You can even link it to something else, but you can also give it a tag and look at it in a more structured way like this. So that is what the main selling point of this application actually is. It is the fact that you can see your data unstructured and structured in a database. That was the main selling point, but now they've added a lot of AI into it and it just makes the app a lot better. I'm also a big fan of outliners in general. I think outliners are a great way to take notes, or at least I have gotten to become a fan of outliners. I haven't always been, but I really see the value of this. But all of the innovation that Tana is doing with AI and just in general in the note-taking space, I think that they deserve the second place. I think this is more approachable, especially for teams and businesses compared to something like AnyType. And I think that the use case is a lot bigger than something like Napkin. That's why this gets second place. And in first place, we actually have capacities. So this is an application I have struggled a lot to understand. It is object-based, so just like AnyType and even something like Tana revolves around objects. And that is something that I think, will become a lot more popularized going forward. And this application is quite similar to Notion. It has databases here, and you can see them in different ways. These databases actually evolve around your objects, and a lot of people are jumping towards this application. And I haven't personally been able to understand how it works. I haven't spent enough time with it. I haven't watched enough YouTube videos. But I would say that overall, after looking at how people are using this and just seeing the hype it has gained and how they are developing the application, I think that this deserves first place. You can do so many things with it. It has a learning curve, but I would say that uh, Tana even has more of a learning curve. I would also say that this bends more towards a personal use case, while I think Tana going forward will bend more towards a business use case. I think that this application capacities here is really good for personal use. I think that it can be used as a business as well, but I think it is best for personal use. I like object-based note-taking. I like that they have a graph view, and I like where they're headed with their development, with going more towards becoming an offline application. So that's why I am going to give capacities first place. It is also cheaper than Tana. Tana is probably the most expensive app on this list. But I would say that Capacities definitely deserves the first place as of right now. But these things can change. All of these apps are in their really, really early stages. Some of them are still in beta, some of them recently got out. And it is like really early days. We have to be patient, and these rankings can change. But I just wanted to do one because I believe that these five apps are something people are keeping their eye on. And as usual, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below, and I will try to get to them as soon as I can. Thank you so, so much for watching.